We made it!
We're here!
In Hollywood! I'm getting swept up in all the excitement, aren't you?
It ain't gonna stop. We going all the way up.
If we burn, they burn with us.
Oh no, just put it in your motherfucking pocket.
Is this where the premiere is? I don't believe it.
Fucking thing sucks!
Hello there everyone. Pokemon. It's something we all know and love. We all love it, we all hate it, and, well for me, I'm one of those guys, really. Anyway, it's time to bitch about Pokemon. I have avoided this franchise at every step of the way, always thinking it is just some shit poorly animated show that will die off in about a couple days, give or take. But look at it now. Looking back at it, there's a part of me that wishes I would have gone on a bandwagon with my brother and cousin. But there's another part of me that is glad I didn't get into the bandwagon because I most likely would have become an obsessive collector of video games and merchandise. Now then, what is Pokemon? Well then, right you ask because I have no idea. Pokemon, everyone has heard about it from video games, anime, movies, and jet aircraft sales, and no, that's not a joke. Pokemon made so much money that they did what any rich fuck would do when they hit the mother load. Buy private aircrafts to flaunt their wealth even harder. Today, Pokemon is considered to be the most valuable media franchise with an estimated $100 billion in total revenue, with Hello Kitty and Winnie the Pooh being in a $20 billion gap for first place. They are so big in fact that the three owners, Nintendo, Creatures, and Game Freak decided to establish a Pokemon company just to be able to properly manage a huge brand. Even with all that popularity, I was still resistant and focused all my attention on more important matters like SpongeBob and fucking Nintendo products, which is kind of ironic since Pokemon is technically a Nintendo product. My knowledge of Pokemon first began in the early 2000s with a little something called Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy, I believe, and I've never played it. But I do remember my brother playing the damn thing and also the first screen of the game being Professor Oak introducing himself. But Pokemon truly got embedded into my mind with the introduction of the anime and the card game. My brother wasn't into many card games such as Yu-Gi-Oh, but the Pokemon card game was where it was all at. He would always want to play with someone, and I finally remember him bugging me to play the damn thing with him, and even with all those plays, I still don't know how to play the card game, and I'm pretty sure he didn't even know as well since he would always throw out the item or sense cards out of his deck. Then there was the Pokemon anime, which I remember was maybe one of the biggest things since fucking Fire, because if you didn't watch it, you were basically left out in the dark as to what the fuck the group was talking about. My cousin was also into it, maybe more than my brother. Every time I would go to my cousin's house, or vice versa, oh me oh my, the anime will be on my brother and cousin's list, and little old me will sit on the side wondering as to how anybody can enjoy a show that has about as many frames as a basic slideshow presentation, and the voice acting quality of a pair of made-in-China off-brand Bluetooth earbuds.
Me, nothing I love more than getting a nice hard workout.
I will admit, I did enjoy the Go West Young Meowth episode and Electric Soldier Porygon for personal reasons. What's funny is that I will later on become an autist for another toy anime series. One day we finally upgraded to the already outdated console, the Nintendo 64, and one of the games my brother and I played was Pokémon Snap. This game doesn't really have much relevance to my introduction to Pokemon, but fuck it! Pokémon Snap is one of the most simple and yet satisfying games I've ever played, even though it was just taking pictures of Pokemon and whatnot. It is more of a nostalgia fest playing that game again in 2019, but looking back at this, and then looking back at this, I was quite curious, why doesn't Nintendo make a Pokemon game like this, but instead of just moving around to take a Polaroid, why not have him move around to catch Pokemon, kinda like Breath of the Wild in the exploration part, just with a Pokemon Flare added onto it. Thankfully, we are maybe getting that with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Shame we have to wait a tad bit longer for that. You ever wanted to see what a downgrade looks like? Just look at this and you'll wish for that final relief. Pokemon Black and White is maybe what laid to rest both my cousin and brother's love for the anime because when they first watched it, for them it just felt inferior when compared to the seasons from before. Which I never understood why, since for me it just felt like Pokemon but with better animation, with the voice acting remaining about the same.
Pikachu, psyched?
Pika!
Me too. Taking a trip with Mom. Can't remember the last time we did that, you know?
So I couldn't really give a shit. Looking back at it, I can see why, and the reason is because the show is a soft reboot, which explains why for some reason Team Rocket went from the Three Stooges to Agent 47 only without the success rate, and then back to the Three Stooges. For both my brother and cousin, they were confused as to why Ash is all of a sudden inexperienced.
I think you two had better start over with the basics.
And they felt abandoned, and they just went with plan B, which is to watch Yu-Gi and Digimon instead. With me sitting on the side wondering why anybody would watch that. What's funny is that my toy anime phase began that year, starting with Beyblade Metal Fusion and forward. Thankfully I got out at ZRG, since I just wasn't a big fan of the Beyblade redesigns, and I thought the characters looked very stupid. Wait, hold on. a bruise. But that PG was worth it. In July 2016, I went to my cousin's house to go and hang out, and then the next day, Pokémon Go was released to the public, and I remember he somehow convinced me to download the game on my phone, because at the time he supposedly didn't have a phone of his own. The game was alright, it's a simple walk and catch game that was pretty addictive and fun to play. This is basically the first Pokémon game I've played in years. Shame I never got to choose the league, but it doesn't bother me much. When I was at my cousin's house, I caught around 30 to 40 Pokemon, I believe. Currently, I have around 71 Pokemon, including the multiple same species I have caught. Going back to it, I have a pretty hard time throwing a Pokeball or catching anything in that matter, but I was able to get a hang of it. So a couple years came and went, and the Switch was released a year ago, with the anniversary nearing. The Pokemon Direct in February occurred, and usually I would just acknowledge its existence and move on to something else. But for some reason I decided to watch it, and I didn't find anything of interest on Sword and Shield. The whole Direct was basically just telling people that, hey, Sword and Shield still exists, and it'll be on the Switch. What caught my interest was the second Pokemon Direct of the year, with the reveal of the Wild area. Ever since I was a child, I wanted a game like this. Sadly, that's not the game, but it's still pretty fun. Y'all may say, hey, you just have a clear Nintendo bias, which, that is true with a couple of bandwagoning, hate-boning morons. Have you even listened as to what I've been saying? Yes, I like Nintendo, but I'm also not a big fan of Pokemon, since I always saw them as boring RPGs. The reason for me liking the game is due to my lack of experience on previous titles, so I was playing this as a new experience, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, and do feel the game is a bit too overhated. I do wish the graphics would look better, and the wild area would be more diverse, because from point A to point B, it just felt like I was going in circles and kind of barren. One day I embarrassingly decided to watch a new season of Pokemon, and it's not that bad, maybe because the voice acting doesn't sound too artificial in the Jap dub when compared to the English dub.
一種のグルメ食べ放題ツアースタートだ。まずは一種名物ヒューアイスをゲットだぜ。
Our Unova Gourmet Eatery Tour starts now!
First, a Unova specialty, yummy Castelia cone.
Also, Journeys is very different from its predecessors. In what way, you may ask? Well, in the previous season, the plot of the show was basically Ash and friends go on an adventure on that one region to catch Pokemon in the hopes of catching them all. And in Pokemon Journeys, the plot is Ash and Go on an adventure on multiple regions, with Ash hoping to beat Leon, the Galar champion, and Go hoping to catch all 898 Pokemon to date in the hopes of one day catching the legendary Pokemon Me. Yes, I know I said I never watched the original series, but when you sit next to people that watch something, even if you have no interest in it, you are most likely going to know what it's going to even be about. I do think the Pokemon Company is planning on replacing Ash with Go, which won't surprise me, and I'm interested to see whether that'll happen or not. Hey, there are dozens of episodes in this one kit, so the idea bin is pretty fucking low, and at this point they're just reusing ideas or digging through the floor just to find some ideas, so it's expected. Now, what do my experienced comrades think about it? Well, my brother hates it, and I have no clue on my cousin's thoughts on it, but it wouldn't surprise me if his thoughts are about the same as my brother's, only a tad bit harsher. Recently, Pokemon has done some interesting things, like the already mentioned Pokemon Legends Arceus, the comeback of Pokemon Snap, that being the sequel with the unoriginal name, and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But overall, I'm still quite curious what else they'll do, and do hope they can improve on their console games, graphics-wise, and other things they can actually add into the table that can maybe innovate and maybe even change the series in a positive way. Even with my Winery Brigade, and friends immeasurably nerfed by God, I still don't like Pokemon. I don't know. I'm still not a big fan. If it makes y'all better, I at least respect it more.